Massenomics.
What's up everybody? Tanner here. Going to go over some bench press tips and cues that I like to use. I use these in order to get myself in the best position, which ultimately, hopefully, the goal is to lift the most amount of weight, and hopefully more weight than I've lifted before. So if you don't want to lift more weight, quit watching this. Just shut it off right now. Otherwise, maybe there's a few things you can pick up on here. If you're not currently doing them, you might be able to get yourself in a better position and hopefully lift more weight.
Freeze. You might be asking yourself right now, why the hell would I listen to this guy? What the hell does he know? And those are probably reasonable questions, but I would respond to that by saying, I have benched respectable amounts of weight in the past. Check out the videos here. You'll see my best in-gym lift at 455 and my best competition lift at 424. That's certainly not to say that I don't have more to learn myself. I'm no absolute expert, but I probably still do have some information that can be valuable to some of you out there that are trying to get your benches better. So sit back, shut up, and listen up.
First thing I wanted to talk about is just warm up. You don't want to just come in, walk in the door of the gym, throw 225 on the bar, and start benching 5 reps, or whatever it is you can do. Ideally, you'll do a little bit more than that in order to get your shoulders warmed up, your triceps warmed up, your elbow and the tendons in there warmed up. Those are probably the biggest areas most susceptible to injury, and then obviously getting your chest warmed up. Area that I focus on the most is my shoulders, because I personally believe that's the area that is most susceptible to injury. So first thing I like to do is just pull aparts, and all my warm-ups for bench press I basically do with a band of some sort. Doesn't have to be anything special, whatever you've got available to you, but a pull apart, just grab a width on the band that's going to give you decent tension and pull it apart. And I repeat this for 3 to 4 sets of 10 to 15, somewhere in there. Nothing exactly specific, but you'll really feel that in your rear delts. After that, I go to shoulder dislocates, I guess is what they're commonly referred to. You could do it with a straight bar as well, like a PVC pipe or a wooden dowel. Back and around. Same thing here. Do 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15. Not trying to completely exhaust yourself. Just get those shoulders warmed up. I generally do a little bit of some sort of light fly variation. I do it with bands a lot. You can do it with dumbbells lying down. Just something to get that chest moving also. This next one here is probably my favorite one. I like to take the band, loop it around something, and then it's called a face pull, and you're bringing it back and up. And you'll really feel this in your shoulders, especially your rear delts there. 3 to 4 sets, 10 to 15 reps. Last thing I would do is get some dumbbells and just do some relatively light, relatively easy hammer curls. Main goal there is this tendon from bicep to your lower arm. A lot of benchers have a tendency to get sore right there, and just some basic hammer curls work pretty well to get that warmed up. Now I'm going to move on to what I would arguably consider the most important part of your bench press, which is your setup. There's probably about 5 cues I typically think about. Not necessarily all at the same time every time I'm benching, but 5 different cues I cycle through to make sure I'm hitting those. First of all, your height to your rack positioning is relatively important. When you on-rack it, you don't want it to be too low so that you're pushing it up a long distance. You're going to waste energy that way, and you don't want it to be so high that you're out of position when you come out.
Now I'm going to get into some of the specific setup cues here. Get yourself down on the bench, back flat, feet flat on the floor. Get your hat off, of course. You want to start with your head all the way off the bench, hanging off the back, so it's going to seem pretty far back there. Once you're in that position, you can go ahead and grab the bar, and your grip width is going to be individually based, but you can see here this is where I like to grip the bar, relatively narrow, and you want to squeeze the bar as hard as you can. A lot of people say that you're actually thinking about bending the bar in half. I think that's a pretty good cue.
Bend, bar, bend.
And you want to do everything you can to make sure you keep your wrists straight up and down. Don't let them bend back at all. You want to keep that bar, your wrist, and your elbow all in a straight vertical line. That's where you're going to be your most powerful. While maintaining that grip, we're going to set the arch, and you'll do that by pulling yourself up towards the bar and then setting yourself back down on the bench. And it's kind of like coiling a spring, so that lower back is going to be off the bench now. You're going to be resting firm on your shoulder blades and then firm on your butt and keeping your feet flat on the floor. Depending on both size and mobility, some people will actually be able to get themselves in more of an arched position, which is beneficial because it can lower the overall range of motion on your bench even that much farther. Here's another look at that Massenomics setup, and the idea there is by getting coiled, we're going to get that chest as high in the air as possible and lower that range of motion and push some big weights up. The next step is to on-rack the weight, and because we set those pins in the right place and we got our body in the right place, we're going to be able to on-rack those weights as effectively as possible. And you're not going to press them a long distance up, you're just going to pull them off the rack while keeping your lats tight, your middle back tight, your glutes tight, basically everything, just keep it tight. Now if you've made it this far, you're probably starting to ask yourself, when the hell do I actually get to bench press? Well, luckily for you, if you've done everything I've told you up to this point, you're actually more ready to bench press right now than you ever have been in your entire life. So wipe that stupid look off your face. Let's bench press. Maintain that full body tightness, lower the bar down. Generally, you want to lower the bar as quickly as possible while still maintaining complete control. And make sure to keep your wrists at that straight angle. You want to touch the bar to the highest point on your chest, and once it's there, you can explode upward, moving the bar up and slightly back towards the rack at the same time. A quick note on foot positioning. I personally prefer my feet flat on the floor. I feel this gives me a stable balance, and it allows me to drive hard through the legs. While some people, on the other hand, prefer to go on their toes. The advantage here is you can get an overall tighter position and typically a higher arch. Some powerlifting federations require the feet flat on the floor, however others do not. Well, that's it, Massaholics. If you follow these easy steps, you will get the Massenomics seal of bench press approval. Comment with your thoughts on the video, and make sure to tag some friends of yours that have weak bench presses and need to watch this and get them better. Click on a video below to check out more of our hilarious and informative content. Don't forget to click that subscribe button right there. Check us out on our other social media outlets. And if you want to start looking cool, ask us about our apparel options. And most importantly, please remember, it's always science. It's definitely Massenomics.